Welcome to the Cars of Palm Springs. I'm Denny Adams. Today we'll be featuring something different, actually a motorcycle, a 1970 Triumph Bonneville. This is Rob, the owner.
Morning.
So hop on, let's go for a ride.
In 1968, I dreamed of getting a Triumph motorcycle. I didn't yet have a driver's license, but I had a poster of Steve McQueen in The Great Escape on my wall. We're out on a ride now on my Triumph T120RT 1970. We're in Racket Club Estates in Palm Springs. We're heading over to a house that has some importance in the genesis of my interest in this motorcycle. In 1963, the movie The Great Escape came out. Steve McQueen made him a big star, but most important to all of us was the motorcycle chase scene. The jump was done by Bud Ekins, a friend of Steve's who he used to ride with out in the desert out here. The house behind me is the house that Steve McQueen owned in Racket Club Estates. A number of other Hollywood stars became interested in motorcycles after the Wild One came out with Marlon Brando, also riding a Triumph. Several other people had Triumphs, including Keenan Wynn, who also had a house out here in Racket Club, and Ann Margaret. This motorcycle was restored, purchased by me in around 2000. I've been looking for a Triumph motorcycle since I was in college.
This is Rob's mid-century house. It's a 1959 Alexander short gable designed by William Kreisel. Kreisel modeled the roof lines of these houses in Racket Club Estates after the mountains above the valley.
I'm back home now. I'm going to go over some of the details of the bike. When I first found this bike, I'd been looking for a Triumph for years, after pining over Triumph motorcycles ever since 63 to 68 was the year in which we were kids, and we rode our bicycles to a motorcycle shop and asked the owner if we could sit on them. That shop was a famous shop called Ghost Motorcycles on Long Island. In about 2000, I finally found this bike. It was original frame and engine, but not a lot else, maybe the front wheel. It was in non-running condition. I was going to build a Trackmaster style street tracker bike, but because it was an RT, I knew I had to restore it to original condition. and I did all of the cosmetics, the polishing, and the paint work. It has hand-painted gold pinstripes, and that's all my work. I have ridden it lightly and continue to keep it in good running condition.
As you notice, Rob's changed his shirt because he's a docent at the Palm Springs Air Museum. In fact, that's where we're going to go now. We're going to hit the open road and then do a close-up at the Air Museum. These roads around the airport were used for many famous race series back in the day. The Palm Springs Air Museum, which opened in 1996, is one of the top attractions in the Palm Springs area with over 75 aircraft and helicopters in their collection.
We're here at the Air Museum. We're inside the Korea-Vietnam hangar, which is, of course, the era in which many of the planes that are normally in this hangar are kept. We also happen to have on display another Triumph. This is a 500cc Daytona, 1968 vintage. You can see the similarity in design.
Rob, we're here to do the tech spec segment of the episode. Tell us what's special about this particular Triumph Bonneville.
Triumph dominated the motorcycle world both in popular use as well as in racing. In 1970, they wanted to race in the 750cc class at Daytona. In order to do that, they had to make pistons and barrels that were 750 cc's because all of these bikes came from the factory as 650s. They hired a motorcycle drag racer named Sonny Routt, who popularized Triumph motorcycles in drag racing with a twin-engine Triumph that he set multiple records. And he lived in Palm Springs for a while. He's moved out of the area for now. He was kind enough to put his signature on the battery cover on the side of my bike. The bikes that were designated 750 had an extra stamp on the engine case after the engine numbers.
What is the horsepower of this, Rob?
It's probably a little different than the stock bike, which was 46. This is a 750, so they didn't have specific horsepower ratings for that.
And how much does it weigh?
It weighs 360 pounds.
It's a beautiful motorcycle. Thank you for sharing it with us. The Triumph Cycle Company was founded in 1886 in the city of Coventry, England, by German immigrant Siegfried Bettmann. The T120 Bonnevilles were built at Triumph Engineering in Meriden, West Midlands, England. The Bonneville model began production in 1959 and lasted until 1983 when the company went bankrupt. Thank you for joining us here at the Cars of Palm Springs at the Palm Springs Air Museum. Please subscribe
And give us a thumbs up.